Hey guys, welcome back. So we're going to jump straight into this video. I'm going to show you guys what you'll need. So of course you'll need a bowl and an applicator brush, your preferred lightener, some foil sheets, and of course a pair of gloves to protect your hands, and maybe a towel to cover yourself. Before we start on the highlights, we're going to spray the hair down with some water. So this is my 22-inch Burmese curly hair texture. Anytime you're done with textured hair extensions or natural hair, you want to try to make sure that the hair is blown out as straight as possible, just so that when you go to apply your bleach, everything is being evenly saturated. As I blow dry this out, I'm just going to explain the Burmese curly texture and how it works and how to prepare for this texture if you wanted to purchase it. So do understand that this is a curly texture and it gets very big. So even after you go ahead and apply your mousse or whatever product of your preference to define the curls, it'll still grow throughout the day and as you wear it. So only 2 bundles is enough for this install. My client wants highlights but not too heavy, so we're only going to do 1 bundle and we're going to mix it into her other bundle when I do the install. Preparing to mix my bleach, I'm going to put this towel over my lap just because I have enough bleach leggings. I don't need any more. Whenever you're using any chemical products, you want to read the directions on how to use them. So for Blonde Me, they have a 1:1 ratio. So normally I would use a scale, but for hair extensions, I kind of just wing it. The reason I wing it is because sometimes the 1:1 consistency isn't enough. It'll be too thick. And for hair extensions, you want the consistency to be a little bit loose, because with your natural hair, you have heat coming from your body that helps, loosen up whatever product, whether it's a relaxer, color, bleach, or whatever. It'll help it spread. But with hair extensions, it's not connected to a person's body, so it doesn't have your body temperature to regulate that heat. So we're going to aim to make this consistency a little loose, not too loose so it's not diluted, but just loose enough to spread real good across the hair extensions. So now I'm going to check my whisk by seeing how the consistency is. If it's not dropping from the whisk at all, then it's absolutely too dry. The consistency should be really creamy, kind of like icing. But if it's not, don't be afraid to add more bleach or more developer. So yeah, if it's too loose, add more bleach. If it's too thick, then add more developer. Now this is the perfect consistency that you should aim for, and now we're ready to apply that bleach. To achieve highlights, there are different approaches that you can take, different techniques, but for this one, I'm going to be doing the weaving technique. I did forget to mention that I got this weave caddy thing from Amazon, so I'll put that in the link in the description below. It's best to have something like this to hold your extensions just so they're sturdy and they're in place when applying your color or your lightener. So because the extensions are folded, I'm going to split the sections into like 3s or 4s, and then I'm going to start weaving into the section that I parted out. Once you've done your weave, you're going to pull that from the rest of the hair and hold onto that and grab your foil to place underneath to separate what you just weaved from what was left out. To properly place your foil under the hair that you've weaved, you're going to fold it over the tail of your applicator brush or your comb or whatever you're using. You're then going to place it underneath the weaved section and then pull it out and place it like so. This just helps you get the foil up under it as close as possible and make sure it's tucked into place. Once that foil sheet is placed, it's time to go to work with your lightener and try your best to saturate the hair as much as you possibly can. The foil sheets that I'm using are short and this hair is 22 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the lightener as far down onto the sheet as I can. And then I just folded up the end that was hanging out into the foil sheet on top of what I just placed lightener on. And then I'm going to go in with more lightener and just keep applying until the whole entire section is saturated with the lightener. Once you felt like you've applied enough, you can go ahead and fold it and tuck that thing on and move to the next section. So I'm pretty much going to repeat this process throughout the entire bundle, aiming to do about 3 to 4 foils in each section that I do. do want to mention that when you're doing your weaves, don't try to focus too hard on making them identical, the same size. Don't focus on being perfect, because I personally feel like highlights come out the best when they're not perfect. Like, it's not supposed to be perfect. So whatever you weave out is whatever it's gonna be, and you're gonna put that lightener on it and it's gonna all come together. Now that all of my foil's in, I'm just going to go back and check the very first one that I put in. You always go back and check your first one because you want to see how fast the hair is processing. And it's processing really well. So I'm not going to have my timer on for too much longer. I'm only going to do 25 minutes because we're already moving pretty fast. So this just goes to show you that I do sell quality raw hair. You would know if your hair isn't of quality if by like 10 to 15 minutes in it's not lifting, it's still brown, or you see some red in there. It should really lift with ease. When you go back to check it, this is also the opportunity to check to see if you missed any spots. So I do feel like I have some brown spots that aren't as light as the other spots, so I just went back in to brush the lightener in some more. So you can do that for all of them once you check them as well. So yep, now the timer is set and now it's time to wait. Now look at how light that hair got in one lift. I used 30 developer, had the bleach on for 30 minutes, and we're here. Again, the only thing that's going to get this light that fast and lift evenly is quality hair extensions. So make sure you guys invest by shopping on my website at www.humblytouch.co. So here I'm just removing the hair extensions off the caddy because I felt like it'll be easier for me to shampoo them by just holding them. The caddy was just getting in my way. So I'm just making sure I rinse them out really good. And then I'm going to go in with some neutralizing shampoo after, just to make sure that the chemical process has stopped completely. And the neutralizing shampoo that I use has a color alarming system in it. So it turns pink if there's chemicals still present. So once those studs are white, then that means you are good to go and that there's no more lightener or chemical left in the hair. While I'm shampooing, I do want to point out how I'm raking my hands through the hair. So this is pretty much how I shampoo all my hair extensions. I fold them up really tight and put my fingers underneath the weft to hold them, and then I rake the shampoo through really good. And then I take my water hose and just start from the top and rinse on down, and I just repeat until there's no more suds in the bowl. again, I'm just showing you guys how the color came out in one go, 25 minutes using 30 developer. But notice how there's still some brown or goldish tones in there. So what we're going to do to even this out is apply some toner. Anytime you lighten hair, you must use a toner just so that your work doesn't look amateur. It looks very even. It'll blend all of those other gold brownish tones out. So I'm going to use the Wella Color Charm T28 Natural Blonde with the 10 volume developer that goes with it. So again, reading the instructions on how to use it, this is a 1:2 ratio. So that means you're going to use 1 part of the toner and 2 parts of the developer. So however much you put of the toner, you're going to double that by what you use the developer. So I use 1 ounce of the toner and 2 ounces of developer. So I shook that up and I'm applying it to the hair, making sure I saturate the entire bundle. So I know some people are going to watch this video and say, okay, why is she applying the toner to the entire bundle? Toners do not have the ability to lighten hair. So because this toner was a natural blonde, it's only going to tone the blonde hair. It's not going to have any effect on the dark hair at all. So to break it down in simpler terms, think of toners as like rinses. So a lot of people use Adores. If you put a red Adore on black hair, everybody knows it's not going to make the hair the color that's on the bottle. It might give a tint or a hue. But if you put that same red on blonde hair, it'll make it red. But if you put that red on top of existing red hair, it may make that red deeper. So it has the ability to tone down hair, but it's not going to lift hair to a brighter color. So I hope that makes sense. Anyway, I left that toner on for 25 minutes and now you can see that most of that gold is gone. So now I'm going to rinse it out and apply some deep conditioner, let that sit for a few minutes and then rinse it and allow it to air dry. So I wanted to show you guys the difference between just rinsing the lightener off and just allowing it to be versus applying a toner. See how it toned down those gold tones and gave it a natural pretty blonde. So we're finally reaching the results of the hair. I allowed it to air dry and this is how it came out. If you made it this far in my video, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys learned something. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and check out my website.